Unique, New York. The arsonist had oddly shaped feet.
Martha Stewart was arrested within 4 hours of her selling 4,000 shares of a biotech stock, but Sam Bankman-Fried is still out there.
I love that Martha Stewart was in prison and she's a fucking gangster.
Can you believe that Martha Stewart, I hope this is, if this was recording, I hope it is, but like Sam Bankman-Fried has stolen $10 billion from people and Martha Stewart like sold 4,000 shares of a stock and she went to jail like instantly. He's still out there. He's like doing press campaigns and stuff like that.
That's the FTX guy?
Yeah. He's like just walking around like he's really awkward and like, he's jittery. He's an Epsom, which is it's a stimulant. So he take patches of a stimulant on his arm. He's always just
salt? Epsom salt?
No. Epsam. EPSAM. He's just like, yeah, no, I understand. I didn't steal any money. Sorry, 1 second.
How do you get that? I want that.
I think you get them like it's like actually an anti-convulsion or like an epilepsy drug. But if you take a certain amount of it, it keeps you up. So I guess it's either anti-drowsy, anti-epilepsy, and included at different dosages. And then he uses it as a stimulant, which I don't really understand. Why don't you just do Adderall like an adult? He can afford it.
I mean, you can get like the slow release Adderall, but.
Yeah, he can try anything. I mean, it's just weird to have no one does that I know. I've never a patch. Like, you want to stay up so you don't.
Maybe he also has seizures, and now so it's like win-win for him.
It's entirely possible. I don't know anything about it, but he definitely seems like a sociopath or someone like Elizabeth Holmes who got pregnant for the sake of avoiding a serious jail sentence. That is
so fucking shitty. That is horrible.
She had babies so that she wouldn't go to jail for a long time.
That's worse than all of the other shit she did than taking money from people. That she made two innocent human beings to get sympathy or to get out of jail.
Can you imagine like being a mother and
money
and like willingly getting pregnant while you're facing like 20 years in jail? Can you imagine that?
Trash. That makes her a trash person.
Yeah.
The rest of it, it's like, fine. She stole money from rich people.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe she stole money from not so rich people also. That's a little bit shittier. But
100,000-aires, maybe.
Yeah, that's shittier.
Yeah.
But the innocent child thing, that is insane. Fuck her.
Maybe there's maternity leave from jail. Is there?
No. So I've been to jail.
Mm-hmm.
And I do know that when you're in jail, if you're pregnant, you get extra snacks. So that's a plus.
That's nice.
And I think, she's going to be going to prisons. Prison's different than jail. And in prison,
they have commissary.
You have commissary in jail, too. Prison, you have much more freedom. Like, you could have a TV in your cell. You have more...
The feds is nice.
What's it called? Time outside in the yard.
They have tennis courts at some of them.
Yeah, it's like you can get a college degree. It's pretty good. Prison's not so bad.
Did she finish Stanford? That'd be funny if she went back and finished her degree in prison. That'd be hilarious. And she becomes like a teacher. Something's possible. She married No,
she'd probably become a nun just to like paint the whole picture of innocence, the Madonna.
I don't know that she has the personality to actually have to leverage this, do some social media after she gets out. She doesn't seem that fun. So actually we take the blood phenotype and we put it into the, her fake voice she does.
How can she even keep that up though? Also,
she's a sociopath.
The fake voice.
She didn't. So in certain interviews, she'd start talking like a normal girl again and then go back. And then people were like, why is it that she didn't develop this voice? She actually has never had it. It's been fake the whole time. So
it sounds like she's in slow motion, that voice. It's like a slowed down normal voice.
According to some book I read, it's not DSM-5. It's not about her psychosis, but women...
Some book.
Women,
an easy read, the DSM.
Some tweet that had a reference that I saw. The reason she chose a deep voice is men, particularly like investors, take you more seriously, take women more seriously to talk like that.
Yeah, a high-pitched voice is
give me some money
to listen to.
Give me some money, yeah. No, actually, if you if you're OB negative and you just put it's like that's what it is.
Believe you. Take my money.
Welcome to the show, everyone. It's good to have Sarah back. It's good to be back. We have for a disclaimer or a rewrite. I do not condone any of Kanye's new statements. Neither one of us do. The new ones that he said on the Alex Jones show. The old ones I still maintain are not necessarily bad, but the new ones I cannot condone those.
Right.
So, well, the new ones say he basically just like thinks Hitler's amazing. So that's not good. That's not good. So we don't condone that, but
or anything he's ever said. He's a stupid idiot.
He is a stupid idiot, but he keeps getting away with stuff somehow. I think he is allowed to describe himself as a genius and to get away with things.
No, don't say this thing.
Oh, we talked about this before. She thinks I can't say it because I use certain words, but Kanye is protected from being labeled a narcissist or a crazy person or an idiot. And at the same time, the left or the liberal media lets him run his mouth because he says such stupid things that it actually benefits them in the long run. But he's protected.
Not no mo.
Now, well, if this was anyone else, he'd be like homeless by now. So he does have some outlets. Like he's still on TV. People are letting him come onto platforms. Alex Jones of all places. But I think he's still going to.
I think that's the last.
I think everyone gets second chance. And if you have mental illness, you'll get more chances. Like it's clearly he's crazy. Like this isn't normal. You can't say, I think Hitler did amazing things without like a reference to some art he did when he was in art school before he started like the Weimar Republic stuff. So like it's not like you have to have some.
He was actually a good artist.
Not me. That she said that. That's her.
Have you guys? Okay, have you seen it though?
He can't do any.
It's weird.
Is it good stuff?
It's actually kind of good. You know who else is an artist? Is George W. Bush.
Did not know that. What's it like?
George W. Bush loves painting pictures, like
Vaginas.
Portraits of like his dog. It's really cute.
Is that good though? Is it just like dogs playing poker type stuff?
It's not
like
bad.
For a parlor room.
It's not bad. You'd think that someone as dumb as Bush would not. I don't know. I wouldn't think that his type would be
into painting.
Yeah.
I think when you're a man and you have such exorbitant wealth, I believe he bought like the Texas Rangers for like $6 million and sold them for $500 million just on his own, like his money, or inherited otherwise, but still it's a big, good return on investment. When you have nothing to do day to day to like pay the bills, no matter how dumb you are, you could end up being Kanye West and like making albums, or you could paint dogs like George W. Bush. It's you don't have a job. You don't have a real job. Like, at the end of the day, I'm so tired, my feet ache. I have to go lay down and watch some Netflix. You don't have to worry about that.
Yeah.
You can play golf at like 10 o'clock in the morning and like go paint dogs in the afternoon.
I think he was high, like stoned the entire presidency. He's always trying not to giggle. All of his speeches, he's like talking about 9/11, like, and terrorists. And always
is that verifiable that he like is he a pothead at like his age when he was president?
I don't know. I just.
Do you think a president can get away with that now? Or like, listen, I like hookers. I want to sleep with hookers still. Like Melania. Did you know Melania never lived at the White House? She lived with her mother in Maryland. So she like only went to like public appearances with Trump.
I love how much she hated Trump.
Hates him, but
I love her.
She must have a side contract getting paid hundreds of millions to still go and do this stuff still.
And then just like not hold his hand.
Oh yeah, pull it away. Yeah, it's great.
She's so cool. And people were so mean to her, which wasn't fair because like everyone hates Trump. So does she. We're on the same side as her. She's just a hot woman who
people don't respect what she does. Like you're sacrificing years of your life to become wealthy and put up with a narcissist who like that's a lot of work.
Yeah. She didn't sign up to be humiliated. She's a proud, beautiful woman.
Yeah.
And they were making fun of her accent, which is not cool. Like you're not The same people that were making fun of her accent are the same people.
They also made fun of her clothes, even though she's like the best dressed president of arguably.
Well, they were like obsessed with her clothes. I watched this interview with her And she wore that jacket that said, I don't care, do you?
Yeah. She's flying to Puerto Rico or something.
It was to see the children in the cages or something at the border. And that was a poor execution of what she was trying to do, apparently, says her in this interview she did. But what she wanted to say was, I don't care about my clothes, do you? Like, I'm here for the children. Stop talking about what I'm wearing. Let's talk about what I'm doing, just like every other first lady has done.
What the hell were we talking about?
Oh, sociopaths.
Sociopaths.
I've got some good, like a hot take on sociopaths.
Go for it.
Okay. So I dated a butcher, and I realized he really reminded me of Dexter. I mean, you also kind of seem sociopathic. So here's what I realized. We need sociopaths in our society to do difficult jobs that people with too much empathy can't do.
Like cut up meat.
For the community, for your village.
What's the other job that they might do? Like shoot people in villages? Like when they're in like Afghanistan or something? What's the other jobs?
Yeah, like being a police officer.
Sociopathic tendencies is actually it's a naturalistic personality trait, right? That came about from natural selection, like
we need
to
some
protect
of them.
you. Like bipolar's one, like that's like a natural. Like that's actually not.
Where's the benefit in the community?
I think that the mania might be part of it. The mania is actually how many artists that we've had that have died from drug overdoses, from coping mechanisms before we knew about lithium, were, Jean-Paul Sartre. I think of, off the top of my head, just a few people that severe mental illness. I think of like today's comedians like Maria Bamford, who has bipolar, but she's a genius. Like if it weren't for the fact that she had bipolar and had the manic episodes, you can't just numb that out. You get the good and the bad.
Sure.
But when it comes to sociopathic tendencies with no empathy, or psychopaths have no empathy, sociopaths are just so narcissistic. The funny thing about sociopath is they put people around them.
No. I think sociopaths don't have much empathy, or don't have much empathy. Psychopaths, I think, are the pillars.
They can't feel anything. Yeah, they have no empathy.
We could be wrong. I'm not exactly sure.
But a sociopath puts people around them that they control, and to try to lift them up and keep them their own, like the ego on a pedestal, but they don't respect the people around them because they know that no one should really love them. So I think
there's varying degrees, because I think that they are still capable of love and being a kind and productive member of a relationship or a family or community.
Elizabeth Holmes married an heir to like a hotel fortune, like someone like while she was indicted.
Yeah, so I think that there are good sociopaths that are useful to.
I don't know if she loves him, but
society. Yeah. I think Elizabeth Holmes is a fucking piece of shit.
Yeah.
She's whatever else she is terrible.
Because of the kids thing.
The kids.
If it weren't for the kids thing, you'd be diffident. You wouldn't have any feeling one way or another.
No. Right. I would think like, okay, she stole money. Right. I don't know if she ever thought she could really pull this off. Like Anna Delvey. That is, I think she was like one step away from actually pulling it off. Yeah. And if she had pulled off what she was trying to do, all those people that had invested in her would have benefited. She would have made their money back.
It seems that wasn't her issue that she could never come up with like a little bit amount of money as like equity for herself, and like that was the problem. She was trying to like do an apartment or some sort of real estate deal.
Yeah, and she was like one piece of paper away from getting that deal, and if she had like the loan to buy the building to do the art, right. But everything else was lined up. According to the documentary. Or that series that they did.
there was a guy that was trying to buy the New York Islanders years ago before they could like a bank could like look at your IRS tax records through like a information request, like digitally. And he was $9 million away as a 100,000-aire from purchasing the New York Islanders, forging all his documents to the bank. And they say that the reason why he didn't have the money is because he used like millions in the interim when he was sure he was done to party with girls and hookers and fly around in private jets, that he would have actually committed the best fraud ever. He would have made himself a billionaire from the cash flow of owning the New York Islanders from nothing if he didn't party up until the deal was signed.
But he didn't need, so like Anna Delvey used her money or
for superficial
other people's
stuff.
money. Yeah, but it gave her status and clout and believability.
But it has to have, you have to have an end game. Like I feel like there might be too much of the going out to dinner and socializing without the actual, okay, did I need to buy did I need to get that $30,000 Birkin and like do that little like social hack today?
Right.
I'm not saying that it just seems to me that she constantly used other people's money in this giant Ponzi scheme to live a lifestyle, to give herself this social clout. But then she lets one loan doc that she can't justify or a few million here and there from actually making legit money and having like a real estate investment trust set up or whatever she was trying to do with some like multifamily units. Like,
yeah, I don't
that's
know.
the real money, not living off people's credit cards. Like that's basic.
It was like one piece of paper away from getting the loan that she needed. I don't think if she had spent less money, it would have been it would have benefited her.
The way she was portrayed by that girl from Ozarks on the movie, it was a little intense. It was a little much. It was
awful.
Did she really like that?
No, and I was like, why is she talking like that? Why is this?
Did Anna Delvey talk like that?
Well, I was just watching
I've never seen her
interview on with Whitney Cummings. Just interviewed her.
Okay.
She's on house arrest, so Whitney had to go to her house, and no, she speaks like a normal person with a normal accent, not like whatever that actress was doing. That was
she was
hard
so
to watch.
superficial. She was like so
and
critical.
So unlikable.
Yeah, so unlikable, which makes me think this girl has an air of mystique that draws people in, but you can't keep pushing people away by being a bitch constantly. So she wasn't really like that.
She was so unlikable.
Yeah.
And the reporter on that show was so obnoxious. It sucked. I think that series sucked.
Fair. That's fair.
But I didn't know anything about her before that. So,
how was your trip to LA for Thanksgiving?
I went to the Bay Area.
Bay Area, right? Yeah, very nice, very posh.
Yeah, my family I have like the most wonderful family. My immediate family is very white trash for some reason. I don't know what happened to us.
Everyone has that offshoot, just,
yeah, we're
daisies.
Like the little shit pile of the family with all the mental illness and trauma.
It's gonna happen. It's like in Twins where like Danny DeVito gets all the bad stuff.
Yeah,
you're that. You're not you, but your family. Yeah,
me.
You're like a rose in the thorns.
Of the worst.
You're a rose in the thorns, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, everyone else in my family are like geniuses, like work for NASA, build, do nanotechnology.
Really geniuses. Like they haven't gotten to the moon since like 1967.
Well, my uncle
kind of fucking retarded, if you
for...
ask me. I'm just kidding.
Stop.
They're like, hey, how? They asked them say about the moon. They're like, hey, whenever someone asks, like, how come you haven't gone back to the fucking moon? And they're like, well, we forgot how to do that. That's literally like that's NASA's official statement. We forgot. We lost the technology.
What?
Yeah, that's their.
No, they did not.
That's their reason.
Jamie, can you?
Yeah, Jamie, can you pull that up?
Can you pull that up?
No, that's the reason. It's it doesn't make any sense. They've only made this statement a few times in the last 25 years, but it's been asked because NASA's not as popular as it was in the 60s and 70s or 50s. It's just there's not like a launch like SpaceX and everyone's watching on TV. Everyone's on Netflix now doing their own thing. So no one gives a fuck. So they kind of can get away with it. But like it's been said publicly on live television, different interviews with like head NASA officials that they forgot the technology.
No fucking way.
I mean, why?
I love hearing about, the one guy my brain just like forgets details. It just likes to remember concepts.
Yeah.
But I think it was one of the people that was on that trip to the moon. It wasn't Armstrong and it wasn't the other one. I think there was other people on there.
Okay.
He's talked about aliens.
Oh, you're talking about Buzz Aldrin.
No, it wasn't Buzz Aldrin.
He's talked about aliens.
He has?
Yeah, he's the one that talks about there's an obelisk on Mars. What? I think he even mentioned there was one on the moon, and that there's been like some stuff about like a couple like radio broadcasts that like from walkie-talkies, where the hell they were using, that say that there's things there when they were on the moon, like they was watching them.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
Okay,
But the obelisk they found here, like the large doors and like the desert, like it looks like a giant mirrored like an obelisk, like a long.
Where? What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah, so Nevada, Wyoming, somewhere.
Oh, like in the Grand Canyon or something?
Yeah, it looks like a silver 8 feet tall thing in the middle of nowhere. Something like that they found on the moon, and apparently there's one allegedly on Mars. But like, it's like, what? Like, what is what? Like, it's like there's no verifiable, but you watch the interview with some guy who's like former head like official.
That's the thing.
Yeah, and it's like, but no one gives a fuck. No one gives a fuck. No one gave a fuck about the Pentagon releasing the alien shit. No one cares.
Yeah,
everyone's
they were like, this is not from this Earth.
Yeah, but Ozark's coming out. Oh, I gotta watch the next Ozark. Oh, it's like no one gives a fuck.
So
it's crazy.
Yeah, I know. I've been repeating this same story for, I don't know, 11 years since I heard it. The Minister of Defense of Canada went in front, like 11 years ago or so, went in front of Canadians' version of Parliament.
This is the most ADD like podcast we've run. We were talking about your family, now we're talking about aliens.
This is great. On the Canadians' version of like C-SPAN, whatever it was, he goes in front of everyone and says something like, there are 4 species of aliens on Earth at this time, and the U.S. government is working with like 3 of them. And nobody, that was 11 years ago.
How about the new one? Former head of the Israeli Air Force, Israeli military air defense system or whatever, said that there are aliens and there's an intergalactic alliance, and that like Trump knows they exist, and like Obama, everyone knows.
Do you remember when Trump got elected and he had to go in for that briefing with Obama? Like while Obama was still president.
The transition.
And the look on his face, like he goes in, they're taking pictures, blah, blah, blah.
And then Obama tells him all the shit.
And then they're in the meeting, and then the look on his face when he leaves.
He's just like, fuck.
I was like, they told him about the aliens.
Yeah.
He just learned all about the fucking aliens.
Yeah. Like nothing's real. This is all a game. There's no such thing as like it's almost like the whole world might be a play. Like this is all fake, like politics and government. And, like the aliens run everything. They tell us what to do.
I mean, I am so into simulation theory. I am into the occult. I practice magic. I astral travel. I'm into weird stuff, okay?
You astrals travel?
I astral travel.
If you astral travel, why the fuck are you going on a cruise in a couple of days? You could just astral there and not pay the $500.
Look, real life is fun too. I mean,
can you astral travel without drugs?
Yeah.
How do you do it? Get a piece of paper.
I mean, there's different. I would say that
you can look. You can leave your body like while you're awake. Look at yourself and go to other places.
Yeah. So I do teach this.
Do it right now.
No, I mean it would be like 10 minutes of silence.
What would How would I know you left?
So I could.
Did you start drooling or something, or like
no?
Would you be? You wouldn't be here. It'd just be your.
I would still.
Vessel.
No, part of me would still be here. So like, people will go astral travel and go, like kind of. You can go like spy on your friends and be like, I saw you wearing a red shirt, and this is a fun way that people verify that they were actually astral traveling.
So I could have a friend outside write on a sticky note a number between 1 and 50. And put it in his pocket, and you could astral travel and go read it to me and come back.
Yes. So this is also called remote viewing, which the CIA has been studying this since since the Red Scare because they learned that the Russians were doing this. So they invested a bunch of money in studying remote viewing, and they use this for military operations. And there's evidence that, I think I forgot, like ancient Indian tribes were doing this. It's in like all these old texts. This has been part of military operations for millennia.
Is the only reason you haven't astral traveled to Ukraine to stop the wars because you don't speak Russian?
Look, there are people doing that in the military right now. Oh, and
do you astral travel for selfish reasons? Like look at like boys naked in like locker rooms or something? You do it for, you could save the world right now. You should astral travel for the world.
What's that show? Stranger Things?
Yeah.
Stranger Things is based off of this, based off of what the CIA found and some documents. Turn your phone off.
I'm sorry. Right. Do not disturb.
Yeah, they I think they really, there's some CIA documents where they really
no, of course,
released a monster
remote
or
viewing,
something like that.
The Men Who Stare at Goats movie, like the 1980s. They even had like they probably are still doing things. Alex Jones might even like be right. He's right like 85% of the time with some of the crazy things he says about like they're looking at interdimensional demons and like they're butt plugs from Mars and like there might be something he's saying that's like real. About like the stuff we've seen that's been released is all old, like 80s, nothing new.
Yeah,
but it's like they were trying to like channel like like interdimensional beings and like used DMT in the 80s.
Yeah.
Like so. What if they actually found...
You can do that.
Since
I've done that.
You and I have done drugs and people do drugs and DMT and see entities. What if there is something and they're like ahead of us because they've been doing it for like they have billions of dollars, trillions. Yeah. So they're further along and there's like documents 25 years from now or 50 years from now that come out and they're like, no, there's actually this interdimensional being named Zorg. And he's diabetic and like...
Why would he be diabetic? Because
he is. And he likes like Doritos, but Cool Ranch only. And if you don't give him like a large amount of Cool Ranch, like a Costco size one, when you meet him in the astral plane, he like kills a child. Like that's the trade-off. So you have to give it to him.
Well, do you want it? Okay. I don't really bother getting into conspiracies, but... A cool, horrible one that I think might be true is that there are things like that, like magical pacts that people who run the government make, and that there are sacrifices that they have to make. Well, there's always like
child sex, like Moloch the Owl God type shit.
Yeah, maybe
like Hereditary movie type shit.
I've never seen that. Remember, I don't watch scary movies.
I know, but you look like you do. I'm profiling you. You look like you get off.
I look like Morticia Adams.
Yeah,
I am the scary movie.
Yeah,
I'm going on a cruise, and I want to just wear white antique nightgowns and haunt the ship.
You're going to be more ivory after the cruise. That's what they're like. How? It's like well, I was using mineral oil to suntan, but it didn't work. It's like something. I don't know. You're I don't see you with the tan. I don't see it.
I don't. I mean, I fake tan sometimes, but I haven't for years. I spent the entire summer in Barcelona, and this is my complexion now.
Island, the new Epstein Islands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. What was it called?
Okay.
Yeah, it's called.
It was called
Fox Sheldon? No. Fox Island. Francis Sheldon was the old Epstein.
North Fox Island.
It was right next to the Epstein Island. It was like really close.
No, this was in Michigan, or off of Lake Michigan.
They were bringing... Really?
Yeah.
That's so...
And then where was Epstein? Was like by the Bahamas?
Yeah. This one's a bad one.
Yeah, this one sounds more...
70s, right? 70s?
Mm-hmm. And I think it only went on for a couple years. So Epstein copied... He wasn't the first one with this island idea. In the 70s... Oh, so yeah, there was people doing it in the 70s. North Fox Island. But one of the people who got arrested for this child sex trafficking ring said that there's tons of them.
Like all around the world.
Mm-hmm. And they were like trying to get people to make more of them.
What I don't understand is if you're rich, why do you need like an island with like, I don't like crowds. You know what I mean? Like I don't like public amusement parks. Like I love water slides, but I'll never go to a public amusement park water slide. I did when I was a kid, like Typhoon Lagoon in Disney World, fun as shit.
I don't think the islands are popping. There's not like lines.
But it sort of is. It's like, hey, the fucked up shit that I think about till I get off? I don't tell anyone. But guess what? On that island, it's like telling a whole group of people about how fucked up you are.
Yeah, but doesn't it feel good to get a secret off your chest?
And then jizz?
No, but if it's not that bad because all your peers are doing it too.
They're not your peers. They're like the odds of like 20 like rich billionaire pedophiles knowing each other and then admitting to each other their deepest, darkest, fucked up secrets. It's so like doesn't seem like fathomable to me. It's like, hey, what's the one piece of information that could hurt me and destroy my empire? Oh, I know. I'm going to share it with all my enemies. Like, that's crazy. I don't think
it's very, I think they have like one point of contact.
But like, they can buy their own island and do it on their own. They don't need this. They could go to Bosnia and like buy kids from families.
And even just like the word of mouth. Like, how did each one hear about it?
Epstein bought a kid from some family in Lebanon that became first one of his girls, and then like an acquirer for others, like a personal shopper, like a Ghislaine, but a younger Ghislaine.
Ugh.
Yeah, and like so, it's like you don't need Epstein. You don't like.
Yeah, I wonder what the hints are for the word of mouth. Like, hey, do you like? I mean, what's the questionnaire to
pizza?
Finally open
Is that
up
the pizza gate thing? Like CP? Do you like cheese pizza? Like I love cheese pizza. How much cheese pizza do you like? How old do you like your cheese pizza? Like really, really fresh.
If I had a child, they'd have a fucking GPS implant on them.
There's a mom arrested recently for letting their kids like walk home from school, and they said like it was like in like Milwaukee, and like he's too young. Like the government stepping in and telling parents what to do in that regard is fucked up. The parents that
how far was it? Was he 4 years old? I don't know.
The parents that were charged in that school shooting because their son. They went to the school counselor with their son that they were concerned, but their son ended up killing a bunch of people anyway, and so they were charged with like murder. Like I'm like, you can't. That almost seems like a psyop to force parents to tell on their own kids to like. I'm not saying that they were trying to help their kid. They went to the school, but that wasn't enough, so they were charged, and they tried to run away from from being arrested. They're like, this is crazy, and they're like kind of like white trash people, part of the precariat or whatever. And they're unsophisticated people. And it's like still, like you know.
I mean, do other parents get charged? I haven't heard of that before.
Do you see all the kids turning in their parents that were on January 6th? Like they were there, like they went on social media. Like they were raising money for like some selfish thing, and then admitting that their parents were part of it. So it's almost.
What are you talking about? January 6th.
There were more than one child, like minor, that said. My parents were at the January 6th riots in Washington, D.C. Also, I'm trying to go to school and raise $70,000.
They went with the war paint and broke into the White House.
Capitol, right?
Okay,
but like these kids are angling not to like turn in their parents because of some like divine like morality. They are asking for something in return. Like, hey, you want some more people that did bad stuff? My parents are awful. They're Trump supporters. Blah blah blah. By the way, I'm trying to buy like a Ford Bronco, and they
were trying to get money from.
They got it. It was instant. It was like instant.
A rat's a rat, but.
Do you know how much money that woman that accused Judge Kavanaugh of like rape at Georgetown Prep went like 30, 40 years ago? She started a GoFundMe, made money like within hours, hundreds of thousands of dollars. Like it's just like instant. It's almost fake. Like that has to be like money laundering. There's no way people even knew who this woman was. But it's like crazy.
Did she say she was going to use it for something? I mean, no one cares.
For a defense fund. Yeah.
Oh, for her defense fund.
But they were pro bono lawyers, so it's kind of weird. It's like she just keep the money. Like the Clintons during the impeachment trial, all their rich friends that gave them millions to help defend Trump Clinton during his impeachment trial. It was $30 million or something that they got to keep that was like the precipitate of that was left over. It was a ton of money. Yeah.
Well, I'm trying to start a nonprofit that will actually go towards helping people. I want to teach meditation to inmates.
And how not to be ADD and like stay focused on podcasts, one topic at a time.
Yeah, one day I'll microdose mushrooms for real.
How close were you with your family that you visited in the Bay Area, and what did you do?
Oh, we're a very close family. We don't talk all the time, but when we're together,
you just stare in the astral plane.
No, we're basically like from a movie. Like everybody's beautiful, musically inclined, super intelligent, like the head of the California State Bar, like amazing people.
It's way too specific. Yeah, yeah.
At some point in time, there's different heads.
I guess. Yeah.
And we will like break out in song together.
Yeah.
Or like someone will play the piano and we'll all just start singing. My aunt loves to like write silly songs about how much we love each other.
Aww.
It's so cute. Did you
eat turkey? Did you eat?
Yeah, this was the first year I had meat. I haven't eaten meat since I was 11.
What?
So I had turkey.
You're a vegan or something?
Not anymore.
You mean for Thanksgiving?
No, since like May I started eating meat.
You haven't eaten? I didn't know that. Well, I didn't know. Okay, I didn't know you. Okay. That's so. How is it? Welcome back.
It's so good.
It's the best.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't you miss it?
It was so weird because I've been going through so much that like nothing. It wasn't hard to transition at all.
To meat?
Yeah.
It's psychological, right? If you avoid those evil videos not evil videos, but the videos showing like factory farming, then you can like they're I mean they like you can't eat anything after that fucking thing. But the next day you can. It's just not that day. They had one right outside of a kava, the Mediterranean meat plate, like the bowl place with like the rice thing at like Friday night or something. I left the gym. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I just finished this work. I just want like some meat.
Yeah.
And like you're showing and like it's so fucked up seeing little Piglet from like
no, don't talk about it.
Piglet and,
I can't.
And
no,
Eeyore
no,
going to slaughter.
You know, pigs are smarter than 5-year-old humans.
Yeah, I heard some things like they're like as smart as dolphins or smart. Yeah, they're smart. Yeah, that's fucked up.
But I did research cannibalism.
Do you like bacon?
And what people taste like just for funsies.
Have you had bacon since May?
I have. I try not to eat pigs. But bacon's so good.
Yeah, it's so good.
And like prosciutto.
Piglet's really good.
God. Okay, wait. Do you want to hear about what people taste like? Or, yeah, you do. So apparently the older you get, the tougher the meat is. So babies are like fish and old people are like really, really tough beef.
Like gamey boar?
Yes. It would be like the older you are, like the harder it is probably to chew the...
So like jerky.
Yeah.
Like a New York City cab driver.
So you probably want like if you're going to be a cannibal, there are some cultures that eat...
Some people like chewy meat.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. Some people like well done meat. People like crazy things. But so babies, you're saying they should eat babies.
Yeah, that died of natural causes, of course.
So Jonathan Swift's poem of a modest proposal of having the Irish peasants eat their children to avoid the potato famine, that makes sense in the cannibal.
Yes.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
But then there's this other point that I forgot.
What about teenagers?
Against cannibalism, which is... I think, isn't that where like mad cow disease comes from?
Prion disease. You go crazy.
Yeah, so that's why we don't eat people, I guess.
It's called kuru. Kuru disease, yes.
That's what you get from
eating brain.
Cannibal.
I think it's specifically eating human brain, but it might be flesh as well, yeah. You go crazy and you die. It's fatal.
I'll avoid it. I'll stay away from it.
Well, it's interesting though. It's actually a natural... Why would that be? It's almost designed to weed out crazy people that would cannibalize us. So like it's a natural Darwinian like self-defense mechanism against crazies.
Yeah, you wouldn't want
they die off.
Your community,
your neighbor,
to be
eat you.
Prey. Yeah, you have to protect each other, and the enemy has to be.
So in real life. The zombie apocalypse really would never happen because they just all die off.
Maybe that's how they become zombies.
I don't know. It just kills you unless somehow I don't know, mutate. I bet you the gain of function research shit, they're still working on crazy like bioweapon shit after, COVID. They're still trying to they're thawing a fucking virus they found.
God,
Do you see that?
know.
And they're gonna mutate that and make it into some fucking awesome make your eyes bleed out and then fucking the thing, And I'm like, what?
Why?
Why? Yeah. Why? Do we need that weapon? Do we need to oh, hey, Putin, you better cut it out or else we're going to unleash the zombie virus on your people. How do you direct a zombie virus as a bioweapon against Russia, who's trying to protect themselves as a sovereign state in their petro empire moving through the Ukraine to Western Europe? And you're also trying to the United States, I guess, protect the dollar as being the reserve currency around the world. But to defend that, you're going to use a fucking zombie virus? You're going to use bioweapons?
I mean, how many
bioweapons should be banned like nuclear weapons. We should not do any gain-of-function research. It's hey, we need to learn about how flus, develop, because then a bad flu might come out of nowhere and kill us all. So we're going to develop killer flus so we can learn how to stop the natural occurring killer flu. That makes no fucking sense. It's no fucking sense at all. It's fucking retarded. Sorry, I know you don't like that word, but I like it. It's very emphatic. It means what it says. Retarded. It's the dumbest fucking thing you can think of. There's never been a horrible virus since polio that's affected people. Ebola, we've controlled that, And it's but we're going to make some just in case, not the one we make, some new shit that comes out of a fucking swamp or some shit. That this is natural. Again, we didn't do it.
Uncontrollable, and we can kill ourselves with it.
Right.
That's the whole stupid thing with the nuclear bombs, too. We'll just all die.
So nuclear weapons and bioweapons should be the same, anti-proliferation treaty. Bioweapons, same thing.
I mean, it shouldn't take regulation to not be suicidal.
It's common fucking sense.
Right. Yeah.
It's basic.
That's so basic. Tell me about your shirt. It's so funny.
Oh, it's Lincoln. It says original gangster, and then he's doing kind of a West Coast.
Side?
I think it has to be East Side. It doesn't make any sense. He wasn't on the West Coast. What the fuck is that?
Oh yeah, that's true. It should be.
I think he's doing. I don't know, but it's you don't have the shirt. You have to turn it the other way because people are looking at it. It's you know what I mean.
Oh.
So I don't know,
But what?
Why is it?
He's an original gangster.
Well, because of the Emancipation Proclamation he signed, abolishing slavery. But there's a caveat to it. It said he didn't really want to sign that. He was pressured socially by the political, climate at the time. He was I don't really want to do this, but I will. So whatever. I kind of tell people.
What is a politician if not a puppet?
Right. So I tell people, they're cool shirt, man. I'm actually, he didn't really want it. I get into this whole thing and it almost makes me look racist because I'm I have to explain it. I'm but you know that, so why are you wearing the shirt? That's what I'm thinking in my head. And I'm I just know it because it's a shirt. It fits my shoulders nice. So whatever. That's all that I'm saying, So he's not, no one's perfect. No one's perfect.
Definitely not you.
No, definitely not me.
JK.
Do you know how much stuff she told me after the last podcast I can't say on this one? Oh my God, so much.
Listen, I'm trying to fucking help people.
My favorite slurs, I cannot. I'm just kidding. Can't say them. Christy Alley, rest in peace.
Oh yeah.
She
died of cancer.
Yeah, and Bruce Willis can't give his, condolences because he has aphasia. He's doesn't even remember his name.
What's aphasia?
He has a developmental degenerative brain issue.
Oh, I think he's hot.
Would you if he dipped his head in some mineral oil and rubbed it all over your body? Would you like that?
I'd like if he just choked me.
That's not what he did. He's into using his head to put mineral oil on girls.
What?
That's what he likes.
How do you know that?
I don't know. How do I know John Travolta's banned at the Peninsula?
What's the Peninsula?
Hotel in LA. The famous Peninsula hotels, the chain that's famous, nice hotels. He's banned from because he'd get massages from boys and try to sleep with them. Yeah, too many times. It's stop it, John.
Times.
He's don't touch the hair. I just want the boys. Yeah.
Aww.
But Chrissy Alley, I thought she was a beautiful woman. I thought she, I I think I found her attractive, even though she wasn't sexualized. And Look Who's Talking. When I was a kid, I was like, that's a beautiful woman. I acknowledge that. As a person, like one of my mom's friends or something.
Right.
When my mom's friends, some of them were really beautiful because my mom was a model, and so
model.
We went on like skiing trips together, right, with the families.
Mm-hmm.
But so I used to when I was younger and learning about my sexuality, I'd fuck pillows.
Thinking about your mom's friends.
Right, but the way I'd set it up, like physically, is I'd have the pillows stacked on my bed. I'd reverse a stuffed animal bear, so they're bear boobs as the feet, so I could grab onto something. And then I'd take the ski family picture and put it at the top, so as if it's her, and I'd pretend I don't see anyone else. So I can see, and she's wearing goggles, so it's kind of hard, but it was.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Gotta do what you gotta do. And sometimes the housekeeper would
fun.
like come in on me, but yeah, it's fine. Yeah, I was very creative. It's a little too like why couldn't I like imagine that? Why do I have to like set it up? It was a little too set up, like a Rube Goldberg machine. Like, why couldn't I just have the ball rolling in my head to get to these? Like, that's the boobs. I had to have something to like bare boobs to physically grab, and the ski picture at the top where the head's supposed to be. It's too like.
Are you
tangible.
Are you very complicated sexually now?
I don't think that was that complicated. It's just weird shit that like actually it's very logical. It's very logical. You know what I mean? It's like very like regimented.
Yeah. Yeah. But then did you grow out of that? Were you able to just jerk off with your spank bank?
No.
No? You always fuck teddy bears?
Still do. I'm just kidding. Yeah. When people finally wanted to have sex with me, I was like, oh my God, this is way better.
An upside down bear.
It's like I'm ruining all my mom's pillows. I just felt bad.
You're like, is this where boobs go?
Yeah.
Oh, they were out here.
They don't feel like hairy, like, with cotton or whatever, filled with like mothballs, however bears are like filled up.
That's so cute.
Do you have any opinions on this is interesting. So there was a drag show in Moore County in North Carolina, and there was a power outage where multiple power energy plants were targeted with machine guns and shot at and destroyed right at the time a drag show was supposed to take place. So huge parts of Moore County were completely blacked out, causing tons of damage, like millions of dollars of damage. And some people think that it's an LGBTQ, like...
An anti...
Right.
That seems like a huge operation just to... cut the power
for
to a drag show?
And
how big was the drag show?
Well, what I heard is the drag show is not reimbursing any of the children that were going to attend, and they're not like, which I because that's who's, they're the ones that matter, and their tickets. Nope, sorry, we
I don't know anything about this, but I think you're a dickhead.
Yeah, I know, no, but like for real, that's the concern. Is that I think it's not just like some sort of Christian right, like this is some awful like homosexual evil or something. No, they were like concerned about it infringing on like the like kid. Maybe that was part of it. It's in the common discourse now of like drag shows involving children that might be inappropriate. I think in some ways it is, in some places it isn't.
Well, but, it depends on
because they're not going.
The
parents are bringing them. The kids don't have any autonomy.
Right.
But,
look.
That was the joke. It's like, give gas cards to the kids, to reimburse them for government. They don't drive. Like, they don't have any autonomy. They're being forced and seeing this stuff that maybe they don't want to see. Because a drag show can be fun and everything, fine, but there is a sexualization to it that I'm not sure that kids should see.
Not all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's just playing dress up.
Sure.
And anyone can do drag, men or male or female. How
does a woman do drag? She just acts like a drag queen?
Yeah, I didn't know that until a drag queen told me that, because I was like, well, I like, that's something I want to do. I wish I was a boy so I could dress up like a woman like that. And this drag queen was like, no, girls can do it too. Like, you can do that. It's not that common, but
it must be an art form I know nothing about. I went to a drag brunch in Washington, D.C. If anyone from D.C. that listens, the one in Adams Morgan, I went there a couple times. It's fun. It was fine. It was like kind of like not my thing, but whatever.
Yeah, they're not always super sexual. They're just, it really depends on the show. But that just sounds so crazy that that it's possibly related that they would shoot up power plants to stop a drag show.
That's the accusation by
just shoot
Charlotte Clymer in Washington,
Why not
D.C.,
just cut
the
the
trans activist.
power at the drag show? Why?
That's the concerning thing. Though that area that was blacked out, it's like there's nothing going on. It's just like why that? Like I don't think they knew what they were doing. So they knew that we have to shoot up multiple energy like grid areas, whatever. I know nothing about how that works.
That's fucking insane.
Just to make sure they got it.
Just to make sure they got it. But this is speculation. Like, where's this information coming from?
Charlotte Clymer is a trans activist from Washington, D.C. that I've talked to. We've had some words on. I think she's an autogenophile, actually, but slightly different.
What's that mean?
A man that is turned on. So she's a lesbian, but also trans, and it's a man that is turned on by becoming a woman. I don't think that's necessarily. It's a slightly variant of the idea of being trans. Like autogenophile would be Caitlyn Jenner.
Like you turn yourself on.
The idea of being a woman is like a sexual turn on to you, and so Caitlyn has sex with women.
That's how I feel about myself.
What? You being a woman is a turn on to you.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, the transformation, I think, or maybe the idea of being. So it's a similar thought with you and trans women that are autogenophiles. I think the majority of men over a certain age that transition, I think 40, they're more likely to be autogenophiles than actual transsexuals.
That's so interesting.
It is. And some people find
being a woman
but they might find it offensive.
A pleasure. Oh, is this a possibly
some
offensive
trans people
conversation?
It's just like a real thing out there.
I mean, being a woman is a fucking pleasure.
Right. Or curse in some ways.
Yeah, except all the rape. The rape sucks.
Or periods or
the
makeup.
Cramps suck. Whenever time I bleed, I
month,
text all my
no
friends.
matter
it's so
what,
beautiful.
you're getting sick every month. No matter, that's rough. Man.
And you have to keep doing stuff
because it wants to prep you for kids.
And no one
naturally,
cares that
pain.
you're just bleeding this beautiful blood out of your pussy.
That's rough.
And you have to go to work. Not me, but other people.
I don't really like. I think it's really frustrating when you try to make a common an assertion like this and someone finds it inappropriate or something. It's like even talking about this, it's like, there's nothing. No, you should never destroy power grids to stop a drag show. But the concern I think might be in some of the media that's been showing kids involved in drag shows at schools and stuff like that. And some people fuck that. No. And they're taking a stand.
I know, but it's probably one of those things that's two people did it and everyone thinks everyone's doing this.
It was probably a drag show that was just for adults and it was not, whatever. It's, I don't know.
I don't think it's I think it's anecdotal. I don't think it's one of those things that happens all the time and people blow it out of proportion.
Yeah, I don't know. I have some of my gay friends have said things that are so anti-LGBTQ that it's RSTYZ that it's how could you can say that as a gay guy or as a lesbian, and yet if I said it, no one would rush to my defense. And you in your circle say these things and they're very disparaging of certain groups within their group.
Right.
Very disparaging. But then and they are very protective also of kids. They understand my concerns about that.
Right.
That's the only concern I have as kids. Just
yeah, if it's just a fun dress up time show.
We care about women being
that's fine. If
what's the
kids
word?
are going to a fucking BDS, a strip drag show.
What happened to you?
That's different.
With the drugs. It's called, what is it called?
Oh, traffic.
No, but
trafficked.
But the process of grooming.
Grooming. Yeah.
That there was some moron on social media saying, it's funny, Tucker Carlson or whatever, some right-wing pundit mentions all these sexual assaults by members of the transsexual community against children, but they don't realize that those children actually are trans themselves most of the time. And I'm that was a terrible, like, the grooming's working. Like, it was a terrible comeback and justification. Like, what the probability that all those kids that are being exposed or quote unquote abused happen to be trans themselves, but there's no correlation. That's a problem.
Yeah, and it's a bit of information that whether it's true or not true has nothing to do with anything.
There are really nice people that aren't abusing kids that are trans, and there's people that are abusing kids that are trans. And like, the problem is that it's such a small percent of the population that if you were to take 10% of the trans community that are like autogenophiles that have like some sex like fetish that abuse kids, parents to say like, oh, I'm concerned about this, they're called a bigot or they're deplatformed at their schools, like, parent conference or whatever. That's a problem. And so I think that there's no line. I think there needs to be some open dialogue with like parents about like, hey, you know what? Maybe I don't want my kids being exposed to this shit. Maybe I don't want that. And maybe the right-wing media does owe some sort of clarification that this isn't happening everywhere all the time.
I think the over-labeling of things is where we start to get a lot of problems. Because if you just say generally, I don't even know what I want to say. In Qatar right now, where
they're having the fucking World Cup with billions of dollars, trillions of dollars, arguably, that are involving it in terms of sponsorships. They throw gays off rooftops in Saudi Arabia. Qatar bans like the promotion of, but we don't talk about it because of all the money.
Law. Yeah.
And yet here, where someone's like, I don't want my kid at school being exposed to this, or like, go fuck yourself. You're a horrible person. You're a bigot. That's crazy. It's such a silly double standard. During Pride Week, Saudi Arabia BMW, there's no pride flag on that Twitter. But on the one in Chicago, of course there is. It's a complete bullshit double standard. So the cultural moral relativism of all this bullshit is hypocritical. But the most important thing is that, like, yeah, you shouldn't like destroy a power grid. You shouldn't cause like a violent reprisal because you don't like drag shows. Like, you should pick it outside of one if you want, like, civil discourse, whatever. But like,
yeah.
There are some people that like literally like this is what they love to do, and they have no harm or ill will towards kids and what have you. They may even make money off this as like side hustle for them, and like they get off on it. Like the bar, the brunch place gives them a piece of like the side of the money that comes in from all the like girls. Like, yes, queen, yes, they come in on a Saturday.
Right.
Let them do their shit, man. So it's a problematic. It's just. The grooming discourse is also a problem because it's like, where's the line? What is what? There's no identification. You can't identify. It seems like it's almost the progressive. There were drag shows at LinkedIn during lunchtime. There were drag at LinkedIn.
Okay.
And like but the idea of drag shows at LinkedIn during working hours is a little like.
I mean,
it's just
it was
not
for their lunch break. Was it like a fun?
It was around. You can go to lunch whenever you want. There's a window of lunchtime. So they were having a drag show around this time, and one of the employees, and he's on the Twitter file leak. He was on like one of the Twitter Spaces talking about the leak of files from Matt Taibbi and Elon Musk, talking about all the violations of like First Amendment rights and like the suppression of Hunter Biden's laptop. But he was talking about how he was at like progressive ideology is really one-sided when it comes to the tech world and media in general. And when he was just trying to get lunch, he couldn't even get through because a drag show was going on in the middle of a work day during the week.
Sounds like it was one of those stupid things that the corporate office was like, this will like raise company morale and people will think we're fun and cool.
But it's completely binary. It's you either think this is okay or you're a bigot. There's no. I
mean,
it's crazy.
It's not okay. It just might be annoying at work.
Or inappropriate to have a drag show at work.
Sure.
Probably.
Yeah.
Right.
But not that it's not okay in general. Just like, why? You don't have to prove that you're so cool.
Are they going to have drag shows at Goldman Sachs? I don't think so.
Right.
Right. Like, so it's very like segmented. So it's just like when someone's like, look at these 5 girls at this high school in Santa Clara County.
You know what they should have is more nap pods. That'd be.
What are nap pods?
Like, I think Google has them. A lot of tech companies have them.
Oh, the thing where the giant like
you just go take a little nappy nap.
Instead of drag queens? Or with drag queens? Drag queen nap time?
I want less energy. Let's take a fucking nap.
Yeah.
We don't need to get hyped up.
Yeah.
For work, no.
I'll take a nap with an LGBTQ like blanket that's really cozy. I don't give. Make that the thing. That's the promote. Make it subtle, a little less
Drag nap.
You drag nap, and you just have your favorite drag queen.
Redo a story and puts you to sleep.
Right, and doesn't molest you. Because unless you consent. If you sign a waiver, whatever happens while you're asleep.
I mean, nobody should molest anybody.
Well, it's a fake molestation. It's it's almost like you're agreeing to it ahead of time. Kind of like you a rape fantasy, right? It's like, hey Andrew, can you come over and choke me? Like, okay, fine, but you have to like really. So I wear
sign up.
I'll change my hair or something so you think it's someone different, or I'll shave it and I'll look like Bruce Willis, and you can call me Bruce while I'm like,
Isn't that weird that people have rape fantasies?
Isn't like sex just about like power, and that's why it's so attractive? You lose the power, like a woman's like the power dynamic.
I had this guy message me today. He was like, "Do you live in LA?" I said,
"You totally look like you do."
I know.
Yeah.
Everyone thinks I'm from LA.
Yeah. Well, you sort of. Family
well,
is sort of the area, the Bay Area. Excuse me.
That's different. So he was like, "Well, if you're ever in LA, he's a slave boy. He's like, if you're ever in LA, he wants to clean my house." I'm like, God damn it, my house is so fucking dirty right now because I've been sick.
But your house isn't in LA.
I know.
So how does he clean it?
He wants me to go to LA, and then if I ever have a space for him to clean,
he flies to LA. He flies here and cleans your house.
That's what I think.
And he lives in the barn while he does it.
In the fucking shed.
And then you do the financial domination too. So he pays you for the whole thing.
I'm gonna tell him to fly his ass out here.
Yeah, and lick your feet.
His naked ass. He gets his ass lasered so he doesn't have any hair.
Make him wear a flap.
What's a flap? He likes to wear aprons.
Yeah, but make him have an apron for his butt and for his pelvic area, so he looks like he's like a hunter-gatherer, and that's how he cleans your house.
No, I like his butt. It's like very.
No, you don't want to sexualize him. You want to keep him in his place. That's what he likes.
Stupid.
Huh?
But I'm not good at.
Kind of make fun of him, like you have a stupid bubble butt. It's luscious, but it's not that great, and like that's what you should do.
Yeah. I need to get better at. I mean, I feel like I'd be a good dom in that sense.
I don't know. You have such a sweet voice.
Yeah, but I have a very dark and terrible sense of humor.
Heels and stepping on someone's balls. I feel like that's just.
It'd be, I would be really torn. I would be like.
So with the balls.
I would be like. Oh, wait, I have a story. I don't know if I want to share it.
Oh, no. Because it's going to be offensive to one of your friends that watches the show. She was so upset. Like, she's like, oh,
no, I don't know.
No, but she's like, my friend, Eric, one of 1,000 people.
Stop.
Said something that was on the show about Kanye you're not supposed to say. I'm like, but that's what he said. We're just reporting on it. It's not like an opinion.
Dig in the hole deeper.
I'm just saying.
I want to be 10,000 miles from that last 4 minutes.
Yeah, there was the first 4 minutes of the podcast. She's like, no. Yeah. And I couldn't cut it because I'm like, there's no intro. It wouldn't make any sense.
You can still cut it.
Yeah, but then like for Eric, for your friend who's like, you can't say that. Who? The people say you can't say that. So
no, I think that people don't understand my sense of humor and that things I say could be misconstrued.
If we're reporting,
I'm very dry and sarcastic, and it just sounds like I'm serious.
If we're reporting, this is one thing about like the whole like progressive thing or just like social media that in general that's actually not good. Makes it a great caveat for whatever you want to report or what you want to push, proselytize. Because social media is controlled by the left and like liberal media and like leftist tech companies. Do you remember that movie Hook with Robin Williams? Mm-hmm. Do you remember the cognitive dissonance, the scene where he's hungry and they're bringing out all the bowls of food and there's nothing in them?
Oh, and you have to use your imagination.
Right. And the collective, everyone buys into the illusion that there's food and then there is food.
That's what reality is.
That's what social media is. That's what social media
is. We agree. We manifest our own reality. And our shared reality is a shared agreement.
No, but it's like a real version of that scenario on social media where everyone says, oh, this is what it's supposed to be. This is what you can and can't say. This is what is and isn't. And it's not even real. Like the people on social media are mean sometimes, but they would never be that way in real life.
Sure.
So you create like a movement where corporations will say, oh, there's a whole mob against us on social media. Like we have to take that down, or we have to put out an apology letter because people stop buying our handbags or hamburgers or whatever we sell. That mob isn't real. No one's actually outraged. But if you want to give the impression that it is, social media is the best way to where have everyone believe there's food in the bowl. And it's like frightening because it's like a disease. It's like a mass hysteria.
That's what Whitney Cummings always says is that there's like you say, oh, everybody's upset about this. And it's like 3 people. It's just 3 really loud people.
And then 5 million bots of fake accounts that are like piling in on it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like you can amplify
like all those
anything.
Bots that you fucking
Oh yeah.
You
yeah.
as a fun, cute little joke.
Yeah. I bought her she made a joke about I don't know what it was. Something
all
about
the fake followers on your account.
Okay, and I said,
and so a few hours later,
Yeah.
I was thinking, I'm like, I should tell him that's bad for the algorithm.
Yeah.
And then I'm like, well, whatever. He can do whatever he wants. This is just a silly, fun thing for you to do. And so I just kept my mouth shut. And then later that night, I'm like getting bombarded with all these follows. And I'm like, what's going on? What the fuck? I click on them and they're bots.
I thought it was a nice present. It cost like $6. It was not, or maybe $15. It was nice. It was
really?
Yeah.
So I got 1,000 fake followers, and you said you paid for 500 likes, and I don't know where they are.
I'll talk to them.
Yeah, I didn't get my 500 fake likes.
I apologize. I'll talk to them.
But it is bad for the algorithm. I was so fucking mad. I was so mad. I was laughing. I'm like, I hate this, but this is hilarious.
I don't know that they pay for the fake followers, but Kim K has tons of fake followers. Like it's like something that like happens. Like I don't know what it is.
Fine, but you want the ratio.
How many people on Twitter like my posts that aren't real? Like their accounts that like are just opened in 2018. They have like 9 posts and they liked it. I don't understand why they do. It's fake. It kind of has to be.
You didn't pay for them?
No. I don't know what it is. It's like it has to be an algorithm of like bots that are like my financial posts when I talk about the stock market or something. Sometimes Asian people that like post mainly pictures of their food and travel where they're not in the picture, but they're sort of like they're holding a bicycle and you can see their hand. And it's like, is this some weird psyop? Like, are you an agent of like the CCP? What is this? And then they'll like message me privately. Hey, would you like to be my friend and talk about stocks? I'm like, who talks
this
like that?
This happens on Twitter?
Yeah.
Well, that's so weird.
It doesn't seem real. And then I'll like, if the girl sometimes is really pretty or something, like, I will talk to you about stocks if you send me a sexy pic. Because I will say that because I don't think they're real. And they like, they'll sometimes keep talking like, oh, great, let's be friends. I'm like, okay, where's the sexy pic? And they'll just stop talking to me. I think there's like a guy running it or something.
Or maybe they're just like, fuck you.
No, I'm sure it is. I just don't believe them. So it's a test. I apologize.
I want to learn about
Asian Americans that find that offensive, but like.
You're supposed to teach me.
I'm going to teach you tonight a little bit.
I'm going to be rich.
I'll teach you tonight.
Are you rich?
About discounted cash flows. And
are you going to pay me in soup?
And ramen. We'll go to an Asian place after this.
I want ramen.
Yeah.
I'm sick.
Stop Asian hate, right?
For sure.
Yeah. Hold on. Let's see. Let's check if there's anything else in the docket we have to talk about. Cover. The Jews, the blacks. I think we got that. Do you have anything on like Meghan Markle and whether you think she's a sociopath?
I'm a terrible judge of character. Terrible. I don't know.
I think
I'm trying to get better at it.
She's fine. She's a careerist. She just wants to be, she's fake. It's fine.
She seems legit. I don't know. I'm so gullible. I was homeschooled. I never learned how to like read people accurately. I'm delusional. I want everyone to be nice and nice to me and honest. And so I think that she's for real. For Rio.
I think she's just a career, like common, like X generation or whatever age, like a narcissist, and she cares about her career. And they have like a special coming out on Netflix, the Royals. It's like, hey, we just want to be left alone, which is kind of retarded.
I would imagine if I married a prince that the royal family would hate me, and I would be like, fuck you guys, we're out of here.
She said something about wanting to like break up with him, Prince Harry, at one point, but she couldn't imagine leaving him alone because he'd be like so sad, which I'm just like, gaslighting much?
She said that?
Yeah, it's like you couldn't handle leaving Prince Harry alone because he couldn't live without you.
Well, that's
gaslighting.
Also codependent.
But that's her emotion she's putting on him to make herself look normal in the media. That's like a Chrissy Teigen thing to do. You know, she says, "Oh, I hate that stuff, man." She like sold her miscarriage photos in like the hospital. It's like, don't you have any like? That's one of the parts about social media. It's like sickness. Do you have any like decent like? That's a sacred thing you're supposed to share with your husband. You're not supposed to like sell that to TMZ.
The things that people share online are disgusting. Even like your love. Like you don't need to post about how much you love each other. That's private.
You don't need to post at all. That's the real game.
Yeah, your life
Instagram.
Is your fucking life. Why is it for other people to look at?
If you don't use social media, like my personal social media, I haven't posted anything in like years.
Yeah.
I only post for this podcast, and I hate all of you for making me do it. No, it's the reality is if you don't have a money thing and you're like,
I use Instagram for work,
right?
For helping people.
But if you didn't, what would you do? It would be a private account that you'd share with friends, and like the pictures, most of them you would never look at again. You'd post them and never like stare at them.
And
you're a girl. You'd be like, is my hair okay?
I messaged everybody and all of my friends. I was like, look, I only want to use social media for work. So I'm unfollowing everybody.
Yeah.
Let's like talk via text and share pictures via text. So I do that. You know how many people message me and want to keep up a relationship with me?
How much?
Like 2. People they're like, oh, she's not on social media, so I guess we're not friends anymore. All right. Well,
oh my God.
Because actually investing in a relationship takes too much work for people. They just want to passively maintain a friendship by like, you look at all my pictures.
There's something seriously wrong with this world where we're staring at our phones while we're walking down the street. It's similar to the parent not being at the recital present with their own eyes. They're looking through a VHS camera.
Yeah.
And then like they never look at that videotape ever again.
Right.
Today, it's a digital camera.
Yeah. When you're at a concert, you're never going to watch. It's terrible sound quality. It's terrible. Don't record things. Experience life.
The parent posts the concert pic online. All the friends are obligated.
Like,
look how cute. Oh my God, she looks so.
No one's watching it.
No, but they're posting.
But you have to like it.
Yeah. Yes. That's fucked.
It's a whole performance.
That's disgusting. We have to stop it.
Yeah.
So I don't know how you stop it because it's like we've all kind of agreed to this new societal like decorum where it's like your life on social media is as real as the one where you're walking down the street. I'm like, do you know how much nicer it would be to feel lonely in real life and go to a pub and to strike up a conversation with someone and that's
what I did when I was in London.
That person becomes your next ex-husband. Like, it would be nice.
And I have a friend who's going to watch this who proposed to me.
Really? But you said no?
Yeah. I've had like 5 marriage proposals in the past 6 months.
That's
not weird.
That's not healthy.
I know. Yeah. I'm like, what is it about? What am I doing?
It's definitely about you. You're picking the wrong ones.
I know. I'm the common denominator.
It should be 6 months and then one guy, not like 6 and...
But it'll be like first date or first meeting, not even a date. I'll get
How old are they? Like 35 to 45? Are they that range?
They are 27 to 55.
See, when a guy hits a certain age,
65.
I think it's after 35. I call it the woman's age is 25 when they need to, like their biological clock starts ticking if they're not in a serious relationship. They become very practical about things like, okay, we're going to get married. Then within 2 months, we're going to have kids and blah, blah.
I know. You keep trying to tell me I need to be more fucking practical.
No. But aside from that.
You're like, every time I see you, you're like, listen, you're getting old.
For the type A guy, his clock, like being this like a guy who just sleeps with women all the time and isn't taking things seriously after 35, things get lonely a little bit. Like you kind of want someone around. You want to commit.
But your clock, you can just keep making babies.
No, it's not. It's a different clock. It's not the biological clock for men. For men, it's like things get old where your partner is still like a 22 to 25-year-old girl, whatever that is, all these like, whatever. And like you're having fun, but you're aging out psychologically from that lifestyle.
Oh,
and
right.
you like the guy who loves the BPD art hoe when he's 35 and she's 25, the BPD art hoe has to grow with him. She cannot be like, I don't know, do you I don't know if you really love me though. I don't know if I want to go to dinner tonight. She has to move on from that. Like She has to grow with you. And like you're supposed to save her and give her that affirmation that she's great. Then it works. But if you're still sleeping with this new BPD art hose over and over again, it's like they're so far away from the growth of you and you can't grow together. It's like starting over and over again. And then you never want to actually commit because it's like a redo. It's like, oh, I'm going to go to this restaurant with this girl. And it's like it doesn't feel romantic because it's just like
because you already did that.
You really need to guys need to, after 35, they're single, focus a little bit on like, forget the sex. Is this girl like someone that I could and that's something that guys need to do for their happiness, for their sanity.
So is that why I'm getting proposed to on first dates?
I think so.
It's been
but
like
they're crazy. They're crazy.
About 5 proposals, about 5 I love yous. And about 5 move in with me. So it's not 15 different guys. Some of these are like overlapping. But it's been, I'm like, what am I doing? Am I amazing?
Probably.
Or what?
And the reason, by the way, why I say that thing about you needing to is because you're going through a divorce.
I am going through a divorce.
And that's awful.
It is awful.
But you should not do the same thing that guys do. Not that you do, but like
shop around too much?
No, you should be give guys the benefit of the doubt that fuck up on dates. Try to give them some more leniency. Find what
I'm not judgmental.
No, I don't know what you are, but but what I'm saying is you should think about all right, that guy has 12-pack and he's a lawyer. All that doesn't matter. All that.
Where you at, lawyer? I need you.
All that doesn't matter if there's no connection. Your stuff should be about soul connections.
No, that's exactly. Yeah. I'm really not. People are like, you have no type, Sarah. My entire life, because I'm all about
some sort of heart. Yeah.
Yeah.
You're counterpoint in another. Yeah.
Yes, I want mental stimulation. I want a energetic connection. I mean, yeah, I really don't have a physical type at all.
Right. And so at this point in time, all of it should be about if there
I'm just no losers. I'm so fucking sick of losers and so sick of child men who want a mommy.
Don't let a guy
I want a man.
Don't let a guy that doesn't click the boxes in some way but has a soul connection slip through your fingers. That's all that I'm saying. Give him a shot if he looks like Louis C.K. and he's Louis C.K. or he looks like Smithers from The Simpsons, and you have a soul connection. You feel it. Just roll with it. Yeah.
Well, where he at though?
We'll figure it out. Maybe we'll find him at the bar tonight or whatever.
Holla.
All right. Do you want to plug your stuff?
Oh, DominusMysteria.com. That's me. Dominus.mysteria.
Lickmytoes.net for Deplora.com, DEPLORAR.com for DWA merch and Patreon. I think it's I don't know, patreon.com/thebinbin, I think it is, not DWA, because I changed the name of the show like a year ago and I didn't want to change the Patreon. So whatever. Because like you can't move over like people. Like, so if I changed the name, I couldn't move over the subscriber. So whatever.
I am available for financial domination.
Yes, she's available for financial domination.
Give me money.
Yes, me too. But through subscriptions, I'm not going to step on your balls. Have a great time, and we'll see you next week. All right, bye. All right, that's good.
Mm-hmm.